What is fuel? It is a source of energy and an integral part of our everyday life. But can it be actually a tool of politics? It is already the 8th month of cruel, bloody and exhausting Russia-Ukraine war, and its end is not yet in sight. According to the modest estimates, Moscow has lost several tens of thousands of people killed. The Russian flagship of the Black Sea Fleet was sunk, and the European market became mostly closed for Russia. There is no doubt that the situation is definitely not going according to plan. And the Kremlin seeks peace, so far only on its own terms. But this should not be equated with a manifestation of total weakness and helplessness. After all, Moscow still has a card that it can use. And this card is energy. For decades, the Kremlin has been supplying energy sources to one of the richest markets in the world, Europe, and this is fifth of the entire world economy, which is almost completely dependent on fuel imports. A developed network of pipelines connected Russian energy hubs with the richest European capitals. And it's not only common infrastructure, it is a million contracts, common interests, business ties, and as a result a strong pro-Russian lobby in many European countries. What do you think, Mr. Orban? Yes, Europe is now actively refusing bloody Russian oil. In June 2022, the Council of the European Union adopted a sixth package of sanctions that, among others, prohibits the purchase, import or transfer of crude oil and certain petroleum products from Russia to the EU. It is believed that Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan may become alternative sources of supply. However, this still all in the plans. In fact, Russia still plays a significant role in European energy policy. But why is it so important in the context of this war? Democracies are very dependent on public opinion. Energy is not only about heating homes in winter. With one snap of the fingers, you can stop the industry, deprive thousands of people of jobs, and as a result change the electoral demand in the country, shifting the issue of helping Ukraine to solve its internal problems. These have become one of the vectors of the Kremlin's policy. Russia has been reducing gas supplies through Nord Stream 1 for a number of months. In June, it cut deliveries through the pipeline by 75%. In late September, the Nord Stream 1 pipeline was damaged. Gazprom, which is a Russian gas company, says it is impossible to say when Nord Stream 1 might reopen. Russia has denied responsibility for the sabotage. However, there are reasons to believe that it was behind it. Sooner or later, Russia will be expelled from the European energy market. The only thing left for the Kremlin is to burn bridges, with maximum damage to Europe, while there is an opportunity. The principle "it was not he who betrayed me, it was I who left him" is also used in politics. Moscow is trying to convert such sabotage of energy supplies to Europe into political points. It forced Ukraine's Western partners to weaken their support, split the coalition, or redirect sources to solve internal problems. And now let's answer perhaps one of the most popular questions in these days. Will Europe freeze in winter without Russian gas? No, it will not freeze. Yes, problems with the energy supply will increase prices on the market. For example, Karl Neckel from Crystal Energy says that this could cause slowdown in European economies and accelerate the route towards recession. The financing of other energy sources will start, a few industries will stop, but the ice age will not come. Germany has been able to rapidly fill its gas stocks in recent weeks because of several factors. This includes strong supply from Norway, the Netherlands, and other countries, falling demand and soaring energy prices, businesses switching from gas to other types of fuels, and the government providing more than 15 billion euros in credit lines to replenish storage facilities. And what about Ukraine? After all, it is against Ukraine that Moscow is fighting. Here the Russian energy picture works differently. The massive missile attack on Ukraine's civilian infrastructure on October 10 didn't lead to serious military results and looked more like a bloody PR campaign to increase the military stench inside Russia. Many called the Ukrainian sabotage and the Crimean Bridge the reason. Putin was very offended and decided to take revenge. But not only terror of civilians was the goal of the Russian attack. Critical infrastructure was damaged as a result of the raid. If the attacks on power lines and power plants intensify, Ukraine will be unprepared for the winter cold. It is obvious that strategic bombing of civilian infrastructure in Ukraine has become a new tactic of the Kremlin regime. This is how it is trying to shake the society and force Kiev to truth. However, peace with Moscow will cost Ukraine much more because instead of stopping the war, it will only prolong it. Ukrainian society has tasted victory, and power cuts will not force the authorities to retreat from the liberation of the occupied territories. On the contrary, such actions only unite the population and Western partners around Kiev, and the only positive result for Russia is the joy of propagandists and militarists inside the state. Russian energy policy, which was built for years in the Soviet times, is now burning in the ashes of war. Everything that could have become the key to common prosperity and development of Russia and Europe was put at stake for the sake of the ambitions of one dictator, dispelling the dreams of some politicians about the European space from Lisbon to Vladivostok. Thank you for watching this video. Remember that your evaluations are very important for the promotion of our work. If you appreciate it, don't forget to subscribe to our Instagram in the link below. Stay strong and donate to the Ukrainian forces in the link below as well. See you next week. Слава Україні! Героям слава!